The system of education here in Canada is not something they tell you guys how difficult it is.
There are times when you're just like, oh God, I just want to pass this. Can I just pass this course? Let's just move forward. You are not even looking for an A. You just want to pass.
Forget every other thing people tell you guys that if you are a 2-1 graduate or a second class lower graduate in Nigeria, when you come to Canada, you are a first class.
If you're a U of A graduate,
you
already understand. Like, what's up?
You guys are the real MVP. I don't know how you guys did it, but I'm just pushing.
Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Ada Canada. My name is Nikki, and with me I have a special guest.
Hi guys, my name is Nnedimma Arima, and this might have been my second time.
If you did not know, actually maybe you guys don't know her very well, but she was in one of my videos last year in December, one of my vlogs last year. Yeah, I have like this lovely lady here again with me today. So today I'm going to be interviewing her, asking her questions about her journey to Canada, how she came, how she made it, and you know, all of that. We'll be giving you all the tea, the gist. Are you ready?
I am, of course.
I have my questions in my phone. Alright guys, so I have my questions here that I'm going to be asking her. First question, tell us about yourself. What are you doing in Canada? What brought you to Canada?
Okay.
What are you studying?
Okay.
She's an international student, guys.
Yeah, I'm an international student from Nigeria, and I'm currently studying my graduate program in Edmonton, Canada. I am a student of the University of Alberta, the almighty University of Alberta, I mean. And
Beers, go Beers.
Okay. I'm actually studying resource economics, mainly focused on economics, right?
You're doing a master's?
Yeah, I'm doing my master's program in U of A, and I'm studying resource economics, which is really tough, guys. They do not tell us how tough it is until you arrive here. I am not even capping, guys. When you come, you see for yourself. Let me leave that aside.
I mean, for a school that is like number five in Canada. Like that's the fifth best school in Canada, top school in Canada. I mean, and to whom much is given, much more is expected.
Exactly.
How long is your entire program?
My program is like 2 years, and I'm trying to finish in less than 2 years. I can actually finish by 16 to 18 months if time permits, right?
Brains. Those of you who are watching me in Canada or from Edmonton, if you're a U of A graduate, you already understand. Like, what's up?
You guys are the real MVP. I don't know how you guys did it, but I'm just pushing.
This VIP question, tell us about your entire journey to Canada. How or when did you know that you wanted to come to Canada? When did you start the process? Like, give us timelines, give us dates.
Okay.
How long did it take? There are so many people on my channel who want to know, even if they are not coming to you or there might be some newbies on my channel that don't really know what's going on, or maybe there might even be people who are interested in studying something related to agriculture or economics or something. Give us the tea.
Okay.
Tell us how it happened.
So the thing, guys, is that way before I graduated university, I always had a plan of wanting to go out and further my education.
You did your university in Nigeria?
Yeah, I did in Nigeria.
So when did you graduate?
I graduated 2020, 2021. Okay. I went for my the normal National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, which was a 1-year program from 2021. Then I finished 2022 July, and I arrived Canada 2022 December. So the whole thing is that after my graduation, I was serving in Lagos State, and I already knew that my result was good enough because I graduated with a first-class degree. I came to Lagos State, and I was doing my NYSC in Lagos State, and from there I applied for my programs. So the thing is, you should already start preparing for making your research. I did a lot of research myself, and that also helped me so much. I was already set to what school and what school not to apply to. I searched for schools based on what I can study. That's my field of study. How many years of study I would want to go for. How many years of study does the school give out to students who's coming into. I really wanted a 2 year course because I don't want to come to Canada, apply for a 1 year course and jump on to another course, because that's a whole lot of stress for me. Yeah.
Do you mean for the postgraduate work permit?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I wanted like a 2 years, a course that would actually study for 2 years. So I also looked at other requirements based on, do I have to write IELTS? Because at the time I never had my IELTS, and I did not apply for my admission with my IELTS results. So after I've gotten those requirements set, I applied for the university 2022 February, March. I know I applied really late because early admission starts by September. So if you're looking forward to applying for your university or for any program in Canada, I think you should consider applying around early September, October, November, because that's when application tends to open, right? As at January, February, March, that's when school tends to close their opening for applying for schools. So I was so late. I applied a day to the deadline. The deadline was March 1st. I applied February 29th. That was how late I was. Well, I mean, so I applied to 2 schools. I would advise that they apply to 2 schools or more schools, because you never can tell how many schools are going to give you the opportunity to come into their university. So I applied to 2 schools. As good as my results were, guys, I'm not even going to beat around the bush or make it look like, oh, my results. As good as my results were, I applied to the first school. I did not get in. Being a first class graduate, I did not get in.
What school was that?
Saskatchewan.
The competition.
University. So I sent a mail. I was like, why didn't I get the admission? They're like, I was qualified for the admission, but because I applied late, they had already gotten the number of students they wanted for the program. I'm like, oh, okay, that, because I was like, there's no way my results will not be good enough to get me in. After the rejection from the school, I applied to University of Alberta and I got in. And yeah, what other question did you ask me? I don't know if I'm mixing.
I think you've answered, like, you've given us a general picture, but like something to note, guys, you have to do your research, because there's only so much I can do for you. I will come out, I'll give you information. If you send me an email or a DM, I'll respond to you, but at the end of the day, I can't do all the work for you. You have to give yourself something. You have to really put in the work. I've always said this before. Please do not wait until the dying minute. Do not wait until the deadline before you submit your application for admission. And this is like a prime example of why I keep saying what I'm saying. When the admission portal or the admission window opens between September and December, make sure you have your application in if you want to go to school, like if you want to come to Canada the following year. Don't wait until the dying minute, because sometimes you might even apply, you might think you're within the deadline, but they might have processed all the admissions and already taking the number of people they want to take. So even when you apply maybe a day to the deadline, you may or you may not even get in. If the spots are filled up, you may not get in. So I hope we're learning lessons here, right? I think you've done well for yourself. So like in a short summary, you graduated in 2020?
2020, 2021.
And then you served. So while you were doing your NYSC is when you were like also pursuing this whole Canada thing. Yeah. So like this desire, has it always been Canada? Have you always wanted to come to Canada?
I've always wanted to come to Canada. United States was not an option for me. Growing up, when my friends, like growing up, I had like a friend and they're like really close to us. They left when I was in primary school to Canada. Ever since then, Canada has been my destination, like my dream country for studies. And I'm so proud and happy that I'm here right now.
You submitted your application February 2022, right? When did you get an admission decision?
The decision for my admission came in like 2 months later. At first, it came from the department, and the admission letter they gave to me was not what I was going to use for my visa application. The official admission letter came in by May 2022. Okay. After that, I applied for my visa.
Did you receive any scholarship for your program? Or like, how did you go about applying for it? Were there any scholarships available to you in your department or something?
While applying for my program, normally people send mails to professors to get sponsorship from these professors. But for my program, it's not necessarily like that. What people do is that after applying, if you're given the admission and on arrival to Canada, just like when you're given the admission, you automatically have the scholarship for. Yeah, and also for most of us that they don't have like the full scholarship, what they did in the department is that there was a school fees reduction for my program. So yeah, there was a school fees reduction. Instead of paying the a specific amount for the winter term. There was a school fees reduction, and we paid just a specific amount.
Like a waiver is what you're saying. You got some money taken out of your tuition for, because you started school this January.
I started school this
January. So you've only been in Canada for 4 months now, going on 5 months. They took off some money for your tuition this semester between January and April, and the semester has just ended. Is it something that is recurring? Like this waiver that they gave you for your tuition, is it something that's recurring?
Honestly, I don't know how it's going to be for subsequent semesters, but I mean, this semester that just ended, that was how it was. Then we'll know if it's going to be like that subsequently.
Okay. You got your admission in May. So let's move on to visa, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want to know. I know that you've already talked about your entire visa process on your channel. She has a YouTube channel, guys, if you didn't know, so you can go check it out. But just for the sake of my subscribers and the newbies to my channel, just tell us like the visa processing. How did it go for you?
Okay, so I got my admission letter by May and applied for my visa July 1st. Actually, it took me like 2 months. I was trying to gather like all the required documents, do my upfront medicals, get my police certificate. And actually, I wanted to apply via the NYSC, Nigerian Student Express route, because I wasn't ready to wait as long as 6 months to get feedback from IRCC. So in order to curb all of that out, I decided to write my IELTS. So this is where the IELTS came in. Guys, I did not apply for my admission with my IELTS result. I only applied to write the IELTS because I wanted a fast visa process. So I wrote my IELTS, prepared for it in about a week, and after the result was out, I applied for my visa July 1st. It took me, I think, 3 months, because on September 29th, that was when I got a feedback from IRCC that my application has been approved. So from the 1st of July to the 29th of September, that was the length at which my visa application took.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
Because I think it varies. Some people it's 2 months, but I think 3 months is about the average standard processing time that it takes.
I was supposed to come in September.
Oh, September, but you had to...
But I had to defer my program to January because my visa wasn't forthcoming as at when school resumed, because school started 15th of September. So I had to send a mail to them that my visa, no decision has been made on my visa yet. And they accepted and approved a deferral program. They don't do that normally because
it's not all programs. I don't know about other schools, but I know for U of A, which is also where I graduated from, not all programs would offer the opportunity for you to defer your program if maybe the visa processing is taking longer than expected. My program doesn't grant a deferral, and it's a course-based master's program that I did. She's also doing a course-based master's program. You're doing a course-based master's program. So, but it's different department, right? I was in a different department and she's in a different department. My department, for my program specifically, the course-based masters, you can't defer your admission. They only have a September intake for my program. So if you're not able to come in and start in September, then it's over. You have to like apply again because they don't give deferrals. To the best of my knowledge, the last time I checked, right? But for your own program, they give deferrals. So it depends. If you are in a sort of similar situation where you haven't yet heard from IRCC, but then your starting date is fast approaching, reach out to the school, reach out to the department, explain to them that you're still waiting to get a decision from IRCC to see what happens. Is it possible for you to defer? And then hopefully they grant you the opportunity for you to defer your admission. But not all departments do that.
Even more recently, we had a meeting with our course supervisor, and I think my sets are the last sets to get the opportunity to come in January. As from next set, they won't be giving them the opportunity to come in.
So basically, just to clarify, you are the last set, this set in your department, your course-based master's program that started January 2023. This is the last set to start school, to start this program in January. So the next set that is coming in is September. Meaning as from September 2023 moving forward, there's only going to be September intakes. Only one intake in a year. Reasons
being that writing your thesis, right, or your final capstone project, if you're to come in January, you tend to write your capstone project in between all the semesters. Like, I'm going to start my capstone project like this summer. I was supposed to start September, do like 2 semesters, then do my capstone project, then finish up, round up.
Okay.
But now I just have 1 semester and then my capstone project, then I continue with my programs, which is not supposed to be.
Yes, because you need to have that like solid foundation of at least 2 semesters, which is 1 year, before you go on to start the whole capstone and research. Did you encounter any challenges at all in like this entire process, or was everything just like a smooth ride?
When I arrived Canada?
No, I mean like applying for admission, applying for visa, like any hiccups along the way, any kind of like challenges?
Honestly, what I think is that if you do your research very well and you get the first-hand information from the right people, I don't think you'd have to face any challenges. Only that you'll be so tensed. You need to have the virtue of patience.
It's the waiting period.
That's the only challenge I had, because I know how stressed, how depressed. I wasn't say depressed, but you know how it is. If you've gone through that process, you already know what I'm talking about, right? So that's the major challenge I encountered during the process. But every other thing was just smooth, because I have all the documents they wanted. I had every requirement they asked for. I was willing and able to provide them just in time.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question. I don't know if this is a question that a lot of people are wondering. Do you think it is necessary to do the 1 year NYSC National Youth Service? This is for Nigerians out there who are like, you know, maybe about to finish school. Do you think is it necessary, in your opinion, to like complete it before coming to Canada?
For me, it is doing my NYSC, during the year of my NYSC, that I got the time to prepare all the documents that I use in applying. So I would personally say why most people would say it is not necessary. For me, for the experience, and just I think it is. Honestly, I think it is, because you tend to get that 1 year experience, because on arrival to Canada, most of the companies you apply to for jobs, they would ask you if you have experience, and that 1 year experience is enough for you to put into your CV or your resume and tell them you have the experience, and then you're good to go.
I think it's also, yes,
you're indifferent about the situation.
No. I mean, I would say yes in some ways and no in some other ways. Yes is important in terms of moving to Canada, because it will count as part of your experience if you are very new to Canada and you're looking for a job, right? You can put that on your resume. And then yes, also because I don't know about other people, but like in my time when I was trying to apply for a visa, I needed to add my passing out certificate, the NYSC certificate, and that means I have to wait until I complete the POP, because it's during the POP that they give you the certificate. So that was like the very last thing that I was waiting for. Otherwise, I would have submitted my application a lot earlier, but I had to wait for that.
I think that was what I wanted for.
So I would say yes, it's important, because you need the passing out certificate from NYSC to apply for the visa, and then it just kind of counts as experience if you wanted to use it to get a job, or maybe if you wanted to use it as part of experience for PR.
As when I was applying for my visa, I got my admission made. It's after mentioning this that I remembered, I was actually waiting for my NYSC certificate, because I passed out like ending of June, July, right? So I guess that was what I was waiting for. And also, while I was writing my POP, I wrote on my SOP, my statement of purpose, that the reason for the gap after my university days and why I'm applying right now was because I was going through the compulsory and the mandatory NYSC program, and that certificate was to show proof that this was actually what I was doing at the time within the 1 year period. So I think that's why I delayed that much.
Okay, so as a newbie, how has the experience been so far compared to studying in Nigeria? Because you're like, You're just like me, fresh out of university, did 1 year service, did not even wait to work in Nigeria, and then zoom out of it. How has it been so far? Just this first semester. Give us like
guys
a brief rundown of things.
See, guys, I am not even gonna paint it for you guys, like I mentioned earlier. Forget every other thing people tell you guys that if you are a 2-1 graduate or a second class lower graduate in Nigeria, when you come to Canada, you are first class. And they expect so much from you that you just have to do it. I mean, before you come in, they tell you our graduate programs are really competitive and really tough, and you're like, oh, I can do it. So I don't have any reason to complain because I said I could do it. The system of education here in Canada is not something they tell you guys how hard and how difficult it is. I don't know how people juggle going to school and working. There is no way you will juggle both of them and excel greatly in your academics. It is not even possible. During my 1 year, this first semester, I could tell you guys that I've not been working, honestly, because I know myself, I cannot handle it. I cannot handle it, honestly.
The stress.
It is
of being a new student.
Yeah.
And the culture shock and the fact that things are just so different. The way you study here is not the same way you study back at home. Everything is just different.
It's different.
So
it is so different. I know how many times I've called her that. I've cried. I call her that, like, I've been crying because of how difficult my course is. But I just have to keep, pushing for it. It is so hard, guys.
U of A is generally a very competitive school. It's not just any kind of school. It's a competitive school, and the standards are very high, sometimes unrealistically high, but they are very high. The standards that instructors set to are also very, very high. And it's a very big difference because I think if you are a Nigerian or maybe some other African country, maybe you might understand what I'm saying. But the way that things are so different is that, for example, you might have been the best person in your class from back home, but when you come into a place like U of A, for example, you find out that there's so much competition because they are admitting people who are the best from different countries, apart from their citizens, right? They are admitting people who have been the best, who had first class, had very great results, right? Everybody is so intelligent in that class, and so the competition is just like, it keeps on skyrocketing. And as competition continues to increase, you have like more standards, both from the school admission requirements, and then you come down to instructors or professors. The standards, everything is just so high. So like, you always have to be at your A game, and you soon realize that it's a humbling experience. There are times when you're just like, oh God, I just want to pass this. Can I just pass this course? Let's just move forward, right? There are times when things get so tough to the point that you are not even looking for an 8. You just want to pass just because of how difficult the course is, especially at a graduate level where they expect so much more from you. Also, I'd like to add, it's very good to have a support system, right? A very strong support system. It might not be inside Canada, but like if your support system is back at home, it's really important that you have a very good support system. Your sister, your brother, your best friend, your wife, your husband, like whoever that person is or group of persons, hang on to them, because it gets worse before it gets better. It's a very big adjustment. I'm saying this because like, we're Nigerians, we know where we're coming from. It's a very, very, very big adjustment, right? And it takes time to like adjust, get settled, and start understanding and getting used to the way things are. So initially it's going to feel somewhat overwhelming, a lot. And I can tell you that I did experience that. I went through that, but I'm here. We've all been there. Like, if you're a U of A graduate, bro, you understand what's up. So I don't need to say too much.
They understand. I'm sure they do.
I know you did see that just this first semester you didn't work, but now the semester is over. We're basically entering into spring and summer, and this is usually the time when a lot of students look for work. A lot of students work full-time. International students, they work full-time to try and gather enough money for the next semester, which starts in September. Have you started applying for jobs? How is the experience like with job hunting as an international student? Because that's another thing that I'm sure a lot of you are wondering. Is it easy to get a job as an international student to pay your fees? That's one of the common questions that I get. So
actually, I have gotten some, right, that I'm going to start for the summer, the spring.
So you have gotten a job?
I've gotten some, not just one.
Oh, some job offers.
Yeah. So actually, it is not easy applying for jobs. Honest, trust me. I was one of the many students that like, I don't want to work while in school, but while I was at it, so like during the winter semester, I was really up to it, like searching for jobs. They expect you to know the job requirements, like the roles, the position you're applying to, and you might not necessarily have the experience in this the several jobs that are available for students in general. Because not all companies want to take international students or students as full-time staff. The part-time roles that are available, majority of students do not have the experience that they need, right? So that's where the major challenge comes from. So you find yourself applying to several jobs and you're not getting any feedback from them, which is really frustrating. Don't worry, I was once like that. I was in the same shoes, right? You just have to keep going. But if you set your mind to searching for the jobs you want to and trying to know what those roles are, what is expected of you, by looking at several videos on YouTube, trying to get yourself involved with the activities that you're supposed to perform in those roles, I'm pretty much sure you'll get in.
Just to add to what she's saying, in terms of the job hunting, if you're looking at jobs, Indeed is one of the commonest ways, or like the most popular ways that you can easily look for a job, especially as an international student. Whenever you look at the job requirements, the responsibilities, one other tip that I'd like to give is to tailor your resume to fit the responsibilities or the roles of that position that you're applying for. And one thing that I noticed, I don't know if that's the same with you, but I had to learn to draft a resume, because in Nigeria what we have is CV. Okay, CV is more like if you're in the academic line, and the way that we do our CV in Nigeria to apply for a job is just so different. It's so different, guys. A resume, a CV, your CV will be as long as 2-3 pages, guys. Here your resume, 1.5, 2 pages. Some people don't have the patience to look at the second page. Okay, so like resume is a lot shorter, it's different, but it's not something that you cannot learn when you come into Canada. Direct. So always tailor the roles and the responsibilities of the job that you're looking for, especially if you have those requirements for that job. Just tailor it. Some of these things, right, is a machine that kind of reads and separates the applications for them. It's not a human being, so
you look for the keywords.
Those keywords in the job details. I think this is probably the last question that I have. What would you say to future international students coming in, about to enter into Canada? Like anything you have to say from them based on your experience, your journey?
Like my mom always say, a closed mouth is a closed destiny, right? So if you're a newbie right here, I know it gets overwhelming and you really don't know how to relate with people you find around you. So what I would say is, when you find yourself in need or you need people to get to explain certain things to you, do not keep your mouth shut. They are so friendly that they would help you at every given point when they find themselves in that situation to help and provide the help for you. So don't keep your mouth shut. Always ask questions when you need to. Reach out to people that are around you, that you know for a fact that they are above you and they're in the best position to help you. Because when you do that, you find a lot of things going way easier for you. And also, please stay focused. It is really easy to get distracted, but you need to
don't lose guard.
It is so easy to get distracted. If you're not focused, you will get distracted. So that's another key.
All right, there you have it, guys. Nnedimma, thank you so much for coming on my channel and sharing your thoughts and your experience, your journey to Canada. I really hope that this journey will be fruitful and successful for you, and you definitely achieve what you came here to achieve. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up if it did it for you, and subscribe to my channel. Let's keep moving forward. Also subscribe to Nnedimma's channel if you want to check out her channel as a newbie. She has detailed recorded videos of her entire process from when she got admission to when she landed in Canada. If you want to check it out, maybe you did someone that is new, because I've been here for a long time. So yeah guys, check out her channel as well. I'll put the name of the channel like on the bottom screen, and also subscribe to her channel as well. Turn on the notification bell so that you never miss an upload whenever I upload or whenever she uploads
video.
And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Stay safe.
Bye.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'll put all these things as because. All right. Hi everyone. Welcome. These are the people that their brains are smoking
Let me
hot,
just feel myself a little
on
bit because
fire.
I deserve it, right?
Please.
Okay.
Easy, do it. Turn on your notification bell. My brain just went blank for like 2 seconds.